What's up, YouTube? Hope you're doing great, hope you're doing well, hope you're crushing all your goals, keep killing it. This video is going to be about credit cards, loans, and pretty much just to help you potentially get out of debt. So earlier this year, I would have been laughing at myself if I was making a video about credit cards or just getting out of debt, because I wasn't in deep debt, but I'd be like, what are you talking about, dude? Shut up, what are you talking about? So in the last video I was talking about how I started investing, and that really got me in the mode of saving more money and trying to get out of debt so I can put more money towards stocks instead of like pretty much giving my money to the bank like with interest. So that's something you really don't want to do, especially if you are thinking about starting to invest. I mean, you can do both at the same time, and you could potentially use one to pay off the other, but you don't want to do it the other way around. Like, you wouldn't want to take out debt just to invest, because then you're already going to be behind depending on how much interest or whatever the interest rate is. Like, say you take out a big loan and you're like, oh, I'm going to dive into the stock market or something. You have to beat whatever percentage you took that loan out on top of. Maybe you aren't going to even get a high percentage return on whatever you're potentially investing in, because nothing's certain in the stock market. But it's just some things to think about. So do not take big loans out. Like, just because I had an investing video or something, don't be like, oh, well, he's making this money or he's doing that I could just take out a big loan and then jump in, and then, oh, everything's just going to go 100% perfect. It doesn't always work out that way. So if I could say one thing, just, do not take out big loans or any kind of loan to dive into something that could potentially lose you money, because then you're owing more money on something else while you're trying to get your money out of the hole on the other side. So let's start with credit cards. One of the first things that I did was try to pay my credit card off, and I had a 12% interest rate, which is pretty high, but I mean, it's pretty low compared to some other ones. But it's the same rate that I've had ever since I first got my credit card. And I have good credit because I never miss my payments, I never miss any bills, I never do any of that. So I didn't know that, like, I had really good credit. Like, I mean, I'm living in an apartment. Like, I don't own a house. Like, I figured you'd have to be owning like multiple assets and all this stuff to have good credit, but that's not the case. As long as you're making your payments on time and everything, you probably have good credit, you just don't know. So the first thing you should do is call up your bank and see if you can get your rate reduced, like you can get a lower rate. I didn't know that was even a thing. I thought that if you bought the credit card, I mean, if you signed up for the credit card or whatever, it was at whatever rate they give you to begin with, and you couldn't do really anything with it. I knew you could extend, but that's something I never wanted to do, because I knew myself at the time that I would, if there was a bunch on there, I'd probably just go crazy on concerts or traveling and all this other stuff, and then just get myself into a huge hole. So I kept the limit low and just didn't go crazy like I could have, But I was pretty low. Like I was close to maxing out. It was never maxed out, but it was always way lower than I would want it to be. And when it comes to getting that managed, you're just gonna want to take as much money as you can on the side, and then just put it towards any of your debt. Like, just get it over with, pay it all off. Because, I mean, most of us, myself was guilty. You're just going to make the minimum payment, and that only feeds into the bank or credit union, whatever you're going with, because they want you to pay the minimum payment, because then they get the maximum of their interest out. So really, the sooner you just pay it off, the sooner and less money that you're going to be shelling out over time. So I don't know if you check your credit card statements or your bank statements or anything, but it'll tell you on there how long it'll take you to pay it off at the minimum payment. And some people still see that and they're like, oh, well, that'll take a while. And then but for whatever reason, they keep paying that lowest amount. And it's like really, like, you might want to just get on it, just double the payment if anything, or even just do a little bit more, because then, I mean, the bank is just taxing you out right there. So some things you could do to get out of some debt right away is reduce that rate. Like if you do make all your payments and all that, it's a simple phone call. Just call the bank and be like, is it possible that I could get a lower interest rate on this card? And they'll either run a credit report or credit check, whatever, and they'll let you know if you can or can't not. It's not going to hurt to ask, you know. And another thing you can do if you are worried about being so deep in a hole, only if you're trying to be responsible though. Like it could go really wrong if you try to extend your credit when you're already in a hole, but it could also help make your credit look better if you do extend your credit, because then it doesn't look like your card is completely maxed out. But like I said, like, do not do that if you aren't going to be like 100% responsible for what you're doing. But if you could do both of those at the same time. You could like ask for an extension on your credit, like extend your line of credit and have a reduced rate. And if you have a lower interest rate, that's less money that they're going to be taking from you each month, so you can just pay off even more of it and get out of that hole maybe a little bit faster. So just some things to think about. And also, let's say you have a loan out that's like taxing you like 25% or something crazy. Maybe you can ask if they have a loan that you could get that will be at a lower rate, and then that loan will completely pay off whatever the higher interest loan is. And then right there, you already saved so much money. With all you had to do is just make a phone call, you know. So just a couple simple things that really could go a long way to benefit your financial future. And it's like something that a lot of people don't even know about. Like, I know that my mom didn't really have much knowledge on like credit cards and just finances and stuff like this in the first place. So like, I'm really just finding all this stuff out on my own. But like now I'm helping her like with her stuff, and it's been really beneficial. So I'm just trying to give you guys some information that might help like in the big scheme of things. But really just call your bank, ask for a reduced rate on your credit cards, or if you have like a big loan out for something else, ask for a loan that could pay off that loan at a lower interest rate than whatever it's at. Like anything pretty much under 10% is going to be a good thing. Like, but obviously the lower you can get the interest rate, the better. And like right now, interest rates are so low on so many loans. So you might want to take advantage of that, and then you could pay off some debt that you might have, and then you'd be paying off less money in interest to whatever new loan you take on. But obviously don't just make a habit of, oh, I'll take a loan for this and then take a loan for that. Like, the best thing you can do is just be one step closer to financial freedom. Don't owe money to anybody is pretty much the best way to do it. And if you do keep making consistent payments, or if you make more than the minimum each month, it's only going to build your credit up. It's only going to build your self-esteem up for what you're doing financially, and it's only going to benefit you and literally everybody around you, because you'll be feeling good. You'll be like, oh dang, I don't got to pay these extra bills. What else can I do? Like, imagine when you don't have that credit card or loan payment or whatever. It's just extra money that you got in your pocket. Like, you can invest with it. You could do, maybe go shopping more. It doesn't matter. Like, pick your poison. But like, the best thing I could say is just dig out of that hole. All right. Anyways, hope this brought a lot of value. I appreciate you so much. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe, and don't feed the zombies. Have a good one.